All right, so given all of this, let us now, I think let's look at the pros and cons of cashless, what a cashless policy society would look like. Before you came on, one of the pros that we mentioned, actually, it seems like we mentioned a lot more cons.
We were looking at
the pros.
We saw the cons, we saw the pros. Yeah.
So what are some of the pros and cons of a cashless policy society?
So where do I start from? Let me start with the pros, the positive of cashless. For instance, handling costs. There's a lot of costs when it comes to cash. Theft. We had a story the other day, during the NSAS period, about time when it was coming down, the bullion van that was attacked somewhere in the Korodu, right? All of those things, I don't know how much the bullion van was carrying, but if that money was transferred and sitting in somebody's accounts, nobody would attack anyone. So people, life, material, machines, man, everything is vulnerable with a lot of cash. Okay? So is that a pro? That's a con. I started with a negative.
Yeah.
Oh, no, so that's a pro. Positive.
It's a positive.
So that's one. Then two, CBN, like I said, theft, inflation. I'm going to the negatives again.
No, that it fights against inflation, so that's a pro
So
as well.
I don't want to confuse myself. Positives of cashless.
Yes.
It helps us have a standard and a formal economy.
Right.
The velocity of money is faster.
Yeah.
If there is trust in the system, right? Goods and services move faster. Because I pay you pay him, you pay you, everybody, there's transaction. It affects our GDP in a good way, right? But if I have to pay you cash, that cash is not captured in the economy yet until you go and lodge it somewhere.
Right.
It takes you, if you're maybe like a typical retail business, or a filling station, you have to do your operations for the day. Somebody have to take all that old money to the bank. The bank has to process, has to lodge it in. The time, the man-hour, as against transfer, and the money is moving. So there are several benefits.
All right.
Cashless.
I need to ask this because you mentioned something about charges and costs and everything, and then you also mentioned something on velocity and vulnerability when it has to do with manpower and whatnot. So they say that cashless policy reduces the amount of times that you visit the bank.
Absolutely.
That is because you don't have to, you don't need to. All you just need to do is use your cards and whatnot. But does it really? Because now I'm thinking about it, the times whereby you might encounter problems. Probably your bank is giving you issues. They have downtimes, and it happens more often than not this time. So you still have to get to the bank sometimes. So what's that?
So the future, like I've said before, is hybrid. I'm not sure we can survive 100% online again. We're going there, but we're not right for there. So some challenges to cashless is infrastructure. We don't have the right infrastructure to support, the right technology infrastructure yet to support our cashless agenda. We don't have the right culture at the moment to also support. So people like to go to party. If I saw a video, I think on someone's WhatsApp status of a lady that was getting wedded, doing his wedding reception, and she said,
I saw that. Aqua Ibom.
Is it? I don't know.
I saw that. She held the QR code of her bank account number. I saw that.
I would love to see that.
That's cashless.
That's literally cashless.
Spray me cash.
You have to send me that.
Cashless spraying.
Yeah, cashless spraying, So I think so where we go to bank is because the infrastructure is failing. So we need to go for settlement. We need to go to claim and say, I made a payment to someone. I was debited. The person didn't receive it. So he or she has not even given me the goods. Or I was debited once or twice or 3 times. It told me failed. And this happened to my wife just a few days ago, because she's a trader. She went to market, do a USSD transaction to someone, 20,000 naira. And it's a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah? And USSD failed. She tried it again. It went, and she got 2 debit alerts.
Wow.
So there are several reasons why we won't trust such system. And plus, some other people, like we've heard, are using the system to scam
exactly.
people.
Yeah.
So I may not do a transfer to you, but if I know a USSD extension, if I have a bit of tech guys, cloud guys, coding guys,
hackers,
I'll do a transfer and you will get an alert. And no money has been credited into your account.
Whoa.
That's even
and
much more
this
dangerous.
is one of the reasons why a lot of people do not trust this system, because it has happened to them times without number.
Exactly. I remember when I bought my second car, I don't know how I did it. Maybe that was the ceiling, 2014, 3 million naira. The guy insisted that he would rather die than take transfer.
Wow.
I had to go and withdraw 3 million naira in my bag.
Wow.
And gave it to him cash. He counted his money like this.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's very strenuous.
That would have been so stressful. In fact, I'm wondering what your bank account and manager would have been.
They were shocked.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So, given all these things that we said about the infrastructure, clearly Nigeria does not infrastructure-wise, Nigeria is not 100% there yet.
We are
but we're still in some form of a cashless, a hybrid cashless society at the moment.
That's what we have.
So, I want to talk about the culture, given the infrastructural challenges that we have. How can there now, or should there be an awareness now for, that 70% of the informal market sector that you mentioned? How can awareness be raised, concerning cashless policy? Should there be an awareness and education, given to this part of the economy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think for us to integrate the informal sector into the formal sector using the cashless policy, the first and most important thing is to give them the solution that they understand. One of the reasons why technology adoption is a bit low here is because a lot of our technology guys go abroad, they see some amazing stuff, and they just import it. Culture is ahead of technology.
Yes.
Okay.
Technology has to come down to the level of the society. If I'm a farmer in Taraba and my technology need is USSD, feature phone, no internet, *121212, send, and even in my local dialect. If you bring anything too sophisticated, more sophisticated, that is beyond that my technology need or exposure, it won't work.
Oh.
So, education is ahead of innovation. Innovation cannot come in front of education. We have to give people technology at their level, and there's technology for everybody.
Yes.
If they are using cloud or QR Pay or scan to pay or whatever it is, in the more developed, we can import that. We have to localize our solution. Right? That is the way to bring these people in and give them the way they know it, the way they can use it. Like my parents, for instance, they don't use a smartphone, they use a regular, and they can do all their
transactions and whatnot.
And now when you send them money, for example, my dad's money, you can move the money with the star, something to my mom to go to a local agent and withdraw
the money.
And all of that transaction is captured in the formal economy, which was not so for a very long time. Until the boom and the rise of USSD and local agent that we are enjoying now.
Yes. Which
we still, like I said, it will metamorphose into something else, which likely, in my opinion, is a QR Pay, QR Scan, or Scan to Pay. We have it here and there, but nobody is talking about it.
It's not very major at the moment because a lot of people don't even understand it. In fact, you would be surprised that some educated or learned people don't even buy into that idea now. So I'd like you to educate us on how these charges work, because Ade and I were talking about it, and one of the reasons why cashless policy puzzles me is the amounts that we're spending that we're not really spending. So I'm spending 1,000 naira, but then 10 naira goes with it. 20 naira goes with it. And it sometimes I'm looking at MSMEs and SMEs, they do a lot of transactions day in, day out. It doesn't even really benefit them because, by the time they sit down and do the plus and minus total calculations of the amounts that they've spent when it has to do with charges, it's a lot. Now, I want to know why there are charges and how can we bridge that gap, really?
So because of those charges, right, there are a lot of informal sector that are margin sensitive. So my margin on a product or service may just be that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 naira you are taking off me. So because of that, I don't even want to be captured. Like I'm selling a lot of wares, but my margin per product or per wear is just 15 naira. And if I do a transfer to you or you do transfer to me, I'll pay stamp duty of 15 naira.
Yes.
So
that's annoying.
It's not my business. Keep your stamp duty, I'll collect my money cash. So that's a disincentive, right? But again, the charges are there. Not that I know why they are there because I'm not in the policy room, right? And I'm not a fintech or a finance stakeholder like the banks. But in my opinion, the charges are there because of what I call convenience fee.
All right.
Right.
And maintenance fee.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Maintenance fee we can understand because of the infrastructure that they build, server, people, processes, uptime, real time. Somebody has to pay for all of that. Okay. But convenience fee, because if you want to do your cable subscription, if you go to any of the payment channel, maybe even if you're using your bank, there's a charge. That charge is not 15 naira, 30 naira, it's 106 naira. That's convenience fee because they feel that if you need to leave your house, go and put your code, everything.
Yeah.
On the other brick and mortar physical credit and deposit approach, it will cost you more and more time. Well, if I take that stress off you and charge 10 naira, you should not bother.
I feel like this convenience fee is there because of the culture of banking at the moment. If e-commerce, if e-banking was a norm in our society, please correct me if I'm wrong. Please. I'm actually asking a question. Yes. I don't feel like there would be a convenience fee. Is it down to culture?
I think it's part of culture, part of policy.
Right.
Because some people feel that the banks are over-pampered, overprotected by CBN.
Okay.
That most of these charges we are being overwhelmed with here in Nigeria. It's not like that abroad.
That's what, yes.
You don't take your money to the bank abroad and you are being, swamped with charges.
Yes.
You bring 10 million to the bank in a month, that 10 million is reduced by all sort of little amount.
Yeah.
So why are you charging me? What am I paying for?
Exactly. This maintenance fee,
all of these have policy to it, has the backing of CBN to it. Why we don't understand? So there are some fintech that is saying, come to us, you will never pay a dime.
Yes.
You never pay a charge.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy
That's
your
where
life.
fintechs are winning.
Yes. A lot of people want
they even brought down those charges because the banks are now making so much money from card maintenance, POS maintenance, this charges, that charges, what thing happened?
Literally. Thank you
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Edward, for joining us on Tea or Coffee this morning. Do you have any final words for us?
I think we must commend all the players and the stakeholders and the media, you guys too, for weighing into this kind of conversation, for spotlighting it, for encouraging. Whilst there are pros and cons on both sides, I think the pro outweigh the cons. So I'm for cashless. And kudos to the banks, kudos to CBN, kudos to all the fintech guys. And but while we await the big and cashless 100% to come, my advice is just go hybrid, go cashless, but still stick to your 1,000 naira
in your bag.
Avoid story that touches.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Edward, for joining us this morning. The conversation is on understanding a cashless policy society. Like Edward has said, and we have all said, please have 1,000, have 2,000 in your bag so that you don't have any situation where you are stranded. A lot of things are happening to you. Because you know how painful it is where you want to pay and then you just realize that, okay, so USSD is not working. But mobile app isn't working. And then this person that you're trying to buy something from is looking at you. Especially if they've just been scammed.
Exactly.
I drop my product, I'm good. I don't want any problems from you and all of that.
You can't do that. So I'm on reserve. Like, there are two levels of reserve. There are high reserve, when you just get to the reserve, and there's a lower tank reserve. So I'm on a high reserve by saying, just breeze into Iko, you do this meeting and come back. And once you drive like that, we are very picky with the filling stations that we go.
Yes.
Because of the metering. A lot of them have fraudulent metering.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and here I'm on the low reserve of my reserve. So I know I need to get into a station and buy.
Yes.
If I'm ready to fuel up. But I don't have cash, but I have money. And I'm wondering, guy, I don't know if you guys pay me. I beg now they collect card here. Yeah. He said no, only cash.
POSD.
No POSD.
You know some filling stations
No
don't have
POS.
Yeah, okay.
No POS, no POS. Now only cash with the collect. The next filling station on my map is showing me 4 kilometers away.
Oh my goodness.
I don't die. Why I not just carry 1,000 naira? I go just stop up here. Then fire they go. You know?
Actually, thank you. This has been a very fun. I've not just actually learned a lot from the conversation with you, Edward. I've actually had a lot of fun this morning. So thank you very much for joining us on Tea Your Coffee. And we hope to have you again, actually, on Tea Your Coffee.
Thank you.
All right. So that is the conversation. We've just concluded a conversation on understanding cashless policy.